During my time in conducting job interviews and working with candidates throughout their whole job hunting cycle and process, is I noticed that candidates always have this mindset of needing to be perfect for an interview. Okay, I'm here to explain to you guys that you don't necessarily need to be perfect. You need to adopt this new mindset that will hopefully help you with your job interviews moving forward. Okay. Now, this is literally just called the 7 out of 10 mindset. So, this comes from a YouTuber that I used to watch about a year or two ago by the name of First Man. And he was talking about this more so in a self improvement perspective, where he was talking about how many people out there they go into things trying to be a 10 out of 10 in everything that they do. So they try to be the biggest guy in the gym, they try to be the best dressed, the best spoken, everything along these lines. Or they try to be the richest and everything along these lines. What he said was is actually take a step back and realize that it's impossible to be perfect in every metric of life. If you just take it back a little bit and you become a 7 out of 10 across the board in what you do in life, you will be a lot better and you will be a lot more attractive to a lot of people. Okay. And I genuinely think that you apply this to your job hunt and the way that you present as a candidate, that is just as important and beneficial. Okay. So what this does and what does this exactly look like. Okay, so the 7 out of 10 mindset, it's not so much about not being perfect and being now scrappy and scruffy when you're going into interviews and whatnot. It's got nothing to do with that. But instead of focusing on just your answers in your job interview, you go into the interview and you think about your how you're dressing. You think about the questions you're going to ask. You think about the mannerisms. You practice your mannerisms. You practice your answering of questions. You practice how you're going to detail your resume. You're practicing how you're going to talk about your value. You're practicing, your speech and how you communicate and, how much you're going to say and what questions you want to ask and how you're going to present basically to these businesses. And you're going to show them, why you are the most predictable and professional option in the job hunt, This ties back into my last point as well, what I've made in a couple of episodes back as well, is that businesses don't look for necessarily the best candidate. Businesses look for the most predictable. And this goes back to literally that 7 out of 10 mindset. It's not so much about being the best candidate. It's not about having the best resume and being the best in one particular skill set. It's about being predictable. It's about showing them that when you're going in for the job, you can thoroughly explain why you want the job. You could outline, why this specific job stands out to you. You could outline how your past experiences have led you to this moment today. And you can outline and be like, yep, doing this exact role is going to help me with the next phase of my career, which is a long-term focus of mine to succeed in this industry. Okay, you show that alignment from the past, you show it in the present, and you show that desire to stay aligned in the future as well. Okay, that's a good 7 out of 10 approach. You're going into it cool, calm, collected, and you're just showing how predictable your path is and your trajectory. Okay, you're not spiking any fears in the recruiter. You're not getting them thinking, oh my gosh, he's amazing, and then, oh, what if he doesn't want to be here in 3 years' time? You're keeping it nice and steady. You're like, okay, he's nice, he presents well, he's good, he speaks well, he knows what he wants, he knows what his next step is. Okay, there's no spikes. They feel a lot calmer working with you and talking with you because you're able to outline from start to finish what you want. And you're not doing it in a way where you're talking in an arrogant way. You're not focusing on one specific skill and that's it. And you're showing that you can only do one thing and one thing only. When you answer questions, you're answering the questions with clarity. You're answering to show how you add value as to what you're after. The 7 out of 10 mindset is going into the interview, studying that job description, studying the roles and responsibilities, and being able to talk about how you can do all of those things to a good standard. It's not about being great, it's just about being good and showing that you can do all the things across the board rather than just, one or two things add to a great standard and then they ask you about other things and you're not across it. Okay. And that's the 7 out of 10 mindset. The 7 out of 10 mindset, it's not about dressing, like you're getting ready for a $1 billion event when you're going for the job interview. 7 out of 10 mindset is dressing like you're going in for a 9 to 5, being cool, calm, and dressing professionally. And showing them that you're secure and you care about your output and how you dress. It's nothing extravagant. You're not going into the job interview with an eyebrow slit or an unprofessional haircut. It's secure, it's nice, it's professional, it's predictable. You're giving them those kind of feelings, and when they look at you they're like, oh, okay, like this person, he understands what he's getting himself into. Okay. I hope you guys got some value from this video, and I do think as well that what this will do is literally just enable you and have these recruitment agencies associate you as safe, predictable, and somebody who's worthy of these positions. Now, obviously, you still need to do a lot to, proceed with the job. You still need to present well, answer the questions correctly, and if there is a better candidate for the position, so be it. But the best approach, I will say, with going into these job interviews is to be a 7 out of 10 across the board and be good and predictable across the board, rather than trying to be great and trying too hard and panicking and then making a silly mistake. Okay? Take a step back a little bit. Don't try to max out on one or two different skill sets. Be that 7 out of 10 across the board, from literally the way you walk into the building to the way you shake the hand after the interview and answer the questions in between. Just everything you do it to a good professional standard, so they get the feeling that you are predictable and they know what they're going to get with you. You don't want to spike fears. You don't want to spike, a big, oh my gosh, they're amazing, and then, oh, I don't know. You don't want to do any of that. Just nice, stable, secure, all the way through the process. Okay? I hope you guys got some value from this video. If you are interested in working with me on a one-to-one level, click the link below for a free consultation. We can have a 30-minute chat and see exactly what you need and how we can work together moving forward. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.